Rockwell.
I'd like to know, are you really ready for some super dynamite soul? And thank you, because now it's start time.
Peace, everybody. Peace, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. It's time once again for that show, that program where I talk to you, y'all talk back to me. This is your brother, DJ Rockwell, in the building with y'all on a beautiful night. I cannot wait to get into why we're here for a beautiful purpose and what a program we got lined up for you. So everybody, come on in the room. This is the Rockwell Radio Show. We're here every Saturday, and tonight's not Saturday, tonight's Friday. That means it's a special broadcast. Speaking of special broadcast, you see your brother DJ Rockwell in his suit tonight. So that means we must be talking to somebody important. I don't got my hat to the back tonight. We must be talking to a few important people, and yes, the answer is we are. Absolutely. And I cannot wait to introduce all of them to you. But as we do, every time we open up the mic, every time we're live on the air, we ask everybody to observe the 3 rules of the Rockwell Radio Show. Rule number 1, you've got to hit that like and share button. Rule number 2, tag somebody. And last but not least, rule number 3, go ahead and make this be the night you subscribe to the Rockwell Radio Show. Some of y'all are like, what exactly is the Rockwell Radio Show? And first of all, we thank you for being here with us. If you're new to the Rockwell Radio Show, what we do here, I'm a DJ, by the way. What we do here is take the culture that me and Big Dave C grew up and love, is hip hop, and marry it to the teachings that saved our life, the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This show serves as a launching point, a bridge, if you will, that takes 2 great bodies of information, wisdom, inspiration to move our people forward. So that's what we do right here on the Rockwell Radio Show. This serves as a platform for all of the NOI hip-hop artists to have their music heard, to have our student ministers come on and talk to the people, because the people speak the language of hip-hop. So the question is, why don't we? So let's get a little more into the program here, Big Dave. Now, you may also be asking, well, we know what you're talking about, Vaughn. We saw your flyer. The DJ meets the GM. That's right. That's happening right here tonight. So what is the relationship, Rockwell, with martial arts and hip hop? Well, I'm glad you asked. You know what? Martial arts is the big brother of hip hop. Hip hop is the little brother of martial arts. They go hand in hand back to 1973. You see, martial arts hit New York City in the Kung Fu theater era in 1973, where 2 major films were killing the streets at the same time hip hop was starting to bubble. Showing Big Dave the 2 movies that changed the landscape. It was in 1973 that we saw the martial arts legendary movie 5 Fingers of Death, later followed by the classic piece Enter the Dragon, featuring Jim Kelly, Black martial arts superhero, featuring one of our own very own brothers, our brother Sijo Steve Muhammad, also known now as Sabir Muhammad. It was those 2 movies that were bubbling in the streets of New York City to the Black youth at the same time where DJ Kool Herc was spinning the wax over in the Bronx. It was inevitable that the 2 would meet. So having said that, how did we get to where we are? Because there's similarities between these two cultures. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Brenda. Matter of fact, if you're coming in the room, give it the greetings. Shout out where you're listening from. Shout out where you're watching from, by the way. So I can put that on and see who's in the building tonight. When we talk about martial arts and hip hop culture, there are some similarities that I thought were very striking. Now, we practice, they train. We involve ourselves with the execution of skill like the martial arts do. We involve ourselves with hard work and strenuous labor, i.e. picking up crates and speakers and equipment. They train by endurance. We talk about the art of going at perfecting your craft as they do, as we do in the martial arts. Last comparison I'll make is this. You know how in the martial arts world, they have what they call tournaments? We have DJ battles. So Big Dave, I think there's a marriage here that we're going to talk about. So let's take one small last point, because although that here at the Rockwell Radio Show, we entertain some humor, we entertain some laughter, the reason why we're here is to talk about this great conference coming up at the end of the month. We're talking about the international training conference. It's going to be in the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it's for a very serious reason, because we have got to train our men, our women, and our girls how to protect themselves. Big Dave, before we go another step further, let's tell the people why we're here. Let's go. Come on now. We did not come to play. Before we start introducing our guest, Big Dave, let's show them the 3 rules of the Rockwell Radio Show one more time. You have got to go ahead and hit that like and share button. Tag somebody that the Rockwell Radio Show is on the air right now. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe right about now. Big Dave, let's start bringing our guest to the room. Let's start with our brother who's operating at a key capacity and helping our brother Gia make this magnificent event happen. Please welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show, Brother Calvin Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Alaikum salam, sir. Let's keep it going. Let's welcome to the room persons helping him in the youth capacity, that's helping get the word out among our young believers, the young soldiers. And Dave, we're going to bring them all in at the same time. Please welcome Sister Medina. Please welcome Sister Rukaya. Please welcome Sister Gabrielle. Muhammad, give them all a round of applause, y'all. Thank you all so much for being with us here tonight. And before we bring on the man of the hour, if you all can just say in a quick introduction of yourselves and what it is that you do in relation to the upcoming seminar and conference. I'll start with Brother Calvin and we'll work our way down the list.
Yes, sir, my brother. Praises be to Allah. Thank you, sir. My name is Brother Calvin Muhammad. Actually, I've attended the National Training Conference since I was about 18 years old. And along with training at the training conferences, I assist Grandmaster Abdul Azziz Muhammad with the marketing, promotions, workshop development, and any other thing that we need to ensure success.
Thank you, sir. Dear Sister Medina, if you could do a brief introduction.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sister Medina. I'm out of Chicago. I'm 19. I'm one of the co-chairs for the Youth Division Committee, and I'm also, alongside Sister Rakai, we work on the marketing and promotion for the Instagram page in particular, and of course, for anything that Grandmaster Abdul Azziz needs in the preparation for preparing for the conference.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And let us now quickly hear from Sister Ruqayya Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. You just said, my name is Rakaya. I'm 20 years old. I've been going to national training since birth. I am also the co-chair of the youth division. Like Medina said, we work hand in hand with Brother Calvin for marketing promotion, specifically with our Instagram page.
Wonderful. And last but not least, let's get a brief introduction from our dear sister, Sister Gabrielle.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Gabrielle. I specifically work in the women's area, more of the physical aspect, and then help in other areas that need assistance.
Wonderful. Awesome. Let's give them all a round of applause real quick. And now let us not delay another second. We need everybody to tag somebody. We need everybody to hit somebody, because we're about to introduce and bring on the Rockwell Radio Show a brother who is compassionate about this craft, a servant, a humble brother who some may say is not the biggest in stature, but his power is in his spirit. Every time that I've had the pleasure of being in this brother's presence, I have been in the presence of a brother who is emulating the humility and the meekness of our teacher, our brother, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Our brother grew up in New York City. He is a 10th degree black belt, and we call him GM for Grand Master, but really GM stands for Good Muslim. He is now currently serving as the post is the Assistant Student Supreme Captain of this great nation of Islam. Please welcome our brother, Abdul Azziz Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum.
We are so honored to have you all. Spread the word. We're in the building, y'all. GM is in the building, y'all. Let's go. Now, I was preparing these notes. Now, Brother GM, obviously, maybe Brother Calvin might have been there as well. Were either of you fans of the Kung Fu Theater era, brother?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Actually, before the Kung Fu theater era. Yeah, before it came to American film, we were going into Chinatown watching the films many days out of the week.
Okay. I figured you all would get a kick out of that, out of that little history. Let's get right to the questions if we can, brothers. I'm going to address many of my questions to Brother GM, and I would like all of you all to be able to answer and just jump in if you feel that you may have something that you can add to the question. And other questions will be directed at each of you. But I'm saying that to say that we want to make this a free, fun-flowing conversation, and we want to make sure that the goal is everyone get themselves to Milwaukee at the end of the month. And we're going to hopefully accomplish that. But Brother Jim, I'd like to start here. There are many fighting styles, martial arts, karate, if you will. And this I found interesting because I'm a bit of a history buff. I wanted to know at what point in the history of the Nation of Islam did the FOI adopt the martial arts, or karate, if you will, as one of the staples in its training? And who were some of those early trainers?
In truth, the trainers come from way before I was in near Islam, in the 60s and the 70s. But there were training going on all the time. Of course, Dr. Moses Powell, my teacher, was one of those who was an instructor, but there were others, and I'm coming from the East Coast for the most part, but you had like you had mentioned, Brother Sijo, Brother Sabir, who was an icon as well. Dr. Moses Powell, you had brother Bob, he's someone, now brother Shaheed Muhammad, he was on Believe It or Not, where he performed incredible feats, but he's in the nation, has been in the nation for many years. And, so there were so many.
Yes, sir.
That were training.
I always wanted to know, because obviously by the time we came along, there was always that aspect of the training, but I wondered if we had started there, and I always wanted to know that. Let's move on. Family, this marks the 27th anniversary of this training conference. And of course, if you count back 27 years, that takes us back to 1995, obviously, which was the year of the Million Man March. So, Brother GM, did the Million Man March play any role in inspiring you to begin this conference? If not, what did?
Well, what did it was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir.
And he wanting me to come to Chicago, actually as early as in the 80s,
Yes,
like
sir.
83 or so. And so his desire for me to come, and then him, saying to me, that he wanted me to train and teach, I then had to move into what do I feel we should do, and that's how we just got started. In fact, it started in '96, so this is the 27th year of our movement, of our activity. So 1996 was our first event.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Let me give everybody a round of applause and just do a quick station ID, Big Dave. Let them know where we at. You're tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show. This is DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ. And before me, sitting next to me, I am so happy to be joined by Sister Gabrielle, Brother Calvin, Sister Medina, Sister Rokaya, and of course, our big brother GM is with us tonight right here live on the Rockwell Radio Show. And what we're talking about is this upcoming beautiful event that they'll be celebrating the 27th anniversary of. We're talking about the National Training Conference and why you should be there in Milwaukee in the building. Let's keep moving forward here. Now, I got a lot of notes, and I always write probably more than I have the time to even ask. So I already know at the outset that I don't have enough time to ask everything I would love to ask, but we'll try to get as much in of the things that matter as we can. We were just mentioning Milwaukee. And Brother Calvin, if you want to jump in with this question, you certainly can. This year, obviously, the conference takes place in a city other than our national headquarters, Chicago, Illinois. What was the significance of picking Milwaukee?
I'll jump in there, GM. First of all, and I'm proud to do so because I actually joined the Nation of Islam in Milwaukee.
Okay, that's a big enough reason right there.
in 1990. And for those of you all who know the history of the Nation of Islam, the way that we were assigned our mosque, of course, in the order of development, you were assigned the number. And so Milwaukee is known as Muhammad Mosque number 3, being the third mosque that was established in the history of the Nation of Islam, with, of course, roots as with Master Farad Muhammad and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad staying there in Milwaukee and visiting for some time. And so I know that when GM announced when he got the cue, and I'm sure he'll go into that, that the National Training Conference was a go for this year. He went ahead and wanted to explore some of the options, and that city of Milwaukee having pride in the believers as they were. And I have to give a shout out to my student captain, who I was trained under, Student Captain Charles Muhammad. They jumped on the chance to host the national training, which is right outside of Chicago, really. And so it's very significant in the history of the Nation of Islam, and it will be very significant in this training.
Come on now, ladies and gentlemen, we are on our way to the great city of Milwaukee. We are on our way, and we want you to be in the building. Brother Azim says, Assalamu alaikum, I pray y'all are well. I have a question about the National Training Conference. Matter of fact, hold that question. Brother Azim, I'm going to do you one better. I just got the green light before we went on the air that we will be taking live phone calls right here on the Rockwell Radio Show, where you can call in directly and ask the panel any question you want about the upcoming National Training Conference. That's going to be in the second half. So stick around, spread the word. And since we're spreading the word, real quick, Big Dave, one more time, let's tell them the 3 steps. You've got to go ahead and like and share the program. Go ahead and tag somebody who should be watching this. And last but not least, if you're new with us for the first time watching, we ask that you go ahead and go to YouTube and subscribe. And since we're subscribing, we also want to let everyone know that to register for this conference, there's a link that you can find directly in the description of this video. So after the program, don't leave your social media platform, whether you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook. You can go right to the description area and click the link and get all the information you need about registering for the program. Let's move forward. Now, this question really is for all of you. This event obviously has grown bigger and bigger every year, and now it attracts people from all over the world. At what point did you all know that you were providing a much needed service for the people, for the community at large?
Well, I would say first, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is so wise, so prophetic in his doing what he did and getting me to do what I'm doing now. I really have to tell you that I did not have a book to tell me how to do it. I just had the spirit and inspiration and the go ahead with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that I just went after it. And that was all I needed. And I just wanted to constantly, prove to him and to our community that we had something, and it just started, wanting to present and make sure that everyone that came, which was only a few in the beginning,
yes, sir.
Everyone that came, we wanted to make sure that they had something that they were able to take back with them. And over these years, it just grew.
How about that? I would have loved to have seen those early days, just like we're going to see this month. The growth and the beautiful people, and which actually leads me to my next question about the various people that you're tapping to be involved. Our brother Hashim isn't here, so we're going to put this question to Brother Calvin. Now, this has grown to such a point that a banquet has been added, entertainers have been added, and being a hip hop guy, I can't help but notice that your lineup is all hip hop lineup. So that caught my attention right off the top. So, Brother Calvin, let me ask you this question. Is this the first year that those things have been added? And please tell me what inspired you all to go that route to include a musical aspect.
Yes, sir. Well, I will say that throughout the history of the Nation of Islam, and I have to give credit to the Student Assistant Supreme Captain, he always wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity provided after the training where we could share brotherhood and sisterhood together. And over the years, that has kind of been snowballing and getting bigger and bigger to the point where we had developed a banquet. But this year is going to be unique in the making. And I'm telling you, this event, there's never been an event that we have put on with the national training when you're looking at banquet and entertainment, which has become an event all by itself. And so this year he's invited in some of the greatest talent that we have within the Nation of Islam. You spoke about hip hop artists. We'll also have some R&B artists that will be in the show. And I believe the goal is we wanted to make a banquet and entertainment that what was fitting for the type of training that we have. So we have top level training. And so I don't want to say we're going to unwind, because really, if I can use today's language, we're going to turn up a little bit.
Come on now, watch out.
The banquets and when it comes to the entertainment. So, you know, of course, we have Brother Hashim Hakeem. Of course, we know him within the Nation of Islam and outside of the Nation of Islam. You have a lot of people like our sister Heck of a Mecca, who, man, you have to listen to her words when she gets out there. Our dear brother, of course, who is the offspring of our brother, Brother Golden Child out of the Chi-Town.
Come on now.
The mic there. We have some R&B legends. We have a sister Danielle Lee. We have Zara O'Dade. And so the night, and that's just the entertainment. We haven't even introduced the awards in the celebratory fashion that we will have. So, brother, there's never, ever been the type of entertainment that we're gonna have at this banquet. We have not had it in the future, in the past, and it's setting the bar really high for the future.
You heard it live right here on the Rockwell Radio Show. It's gonna be going down in Milwaukee, and if I were you, I would be making my way to the section where you can click the link again, which is in the description of this video, where you can get all the information you need to register for that great event happening at the end of this month in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My man, big brother William in the house, watching from Oakland. My sister Brenda in the house, watching right here in Atlanta. And big brother, you will be able to call in right after the break, which we're about to go to right about now. Big Dave, let's go. Second half coming up.
This is your brother Willie Muhammad, and I'm asking each and every one of you all to tune into the DJ Rockwell Show, live online. Peace.
Peace. This is your sister Aisha, the mental resurrectionist, hailing out of Baltimore, Maryland. Listen, whenever I'm online, I always tune into the Rockwell Radio Show. It's that hype. It's that dopeness. And you should tune in too. Peace to my brothers David and DJ Rockwell for holding it down, locking it down, giving us those sounds. Love y'all. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sister Latasha Muhammad, and when I'm online, I rock with the Rockwell Radio Show.
Prepare your mind, body, and soul and get ready for the International Training Conference and Seminar featuring Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad, now known as Grandmaster Abdul Azziz Muhammad. The Nation of Islam's Department of Defense is celebrating its 27th anniversary. Friday, July 29th, dignitary protection as well as security training procedure workshops, a special youth development workshop for children of all ages. Saturday, July 30th, self-defense workshop for the whole family, and a special women's-only martial arts seminar. Can't forget the awards banquet and the concert featuring Golden Child.
I don't instigate no beef. I'm pushing peace. There's too much pain and too much blood to just say squash.
And the young god herself, the one and only Heck of a Mecca.
Oh my God.
Look in the mirror, tell me what you see of me. Do you really see a hoe? Society calls you bitch, but you are not a dog. It's the other way around, baby girl. You are a god.
Danielle Lee. And from the movie Backstage, freestyler with Jay-Z and DMX, Hashim Hakeem.
We leaving the way we came. Assalamu alaikum.
And Sunday, the moment we've all been waiting for, the Scimitar Tournament. All this is going down in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, July 29th through the 31st, live at the Wisconsin Center. For more information, log on to www.thevskjujitsu.com. That's www.thevskjujitsu.com. Are you for show or go?
Do it. Just do it.
Be there.
are back, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. We are in the building. GM is in the building. Brother Calvin, Sister Medina, Sister Gabrielle, and Sister Rukaya are in the building right here live at the Rockwell Radio Show. Such an honor to have you all with us. Oh my God. If I was you, I'd be hitting that like button. If I were you, I'd be hitting that share button, because we are now at my favorite part where I get to talk to these wonderful young people. But before we do that, I want y'all to watch this.
What is the National Training Conference? The National Training Conference is an annual educational event that helps prepare the entire family for issues dealing with self-security, the security of our homes, and for those around us. Focusing heavily on training and retraining both the body and mind to be responsive of any threat, while also preparing the mind to be clear enough and in tune enough to see a threat before it happens. Now you may be asking yourself, why is any of this even important? And it's important because things are happening, and they will continue to happen. So our families must be prepared at all times. So we need to know what to do if there's an active shooter while we're out. We need to know how to eat to live so that we can clean our bodies and be prepared to be alert for when these events take place. And we must receive CPR and first aid training just in case of emergencies. Sound like something you and your family would love to partake in? Click the link in our bio to register today.
All right, let's jump right into it. I want to talk to my sisters on the program and ask you all this as we get back to how about the music? There we go. As we get to it, and this is to all three of you. Now, I want to hear from each of you on this. In the clip that we just watched, the narrator said that this training prepares, quote, the body and mind to see a threat before it happens. Please, and you all have said that you've been at this training for quite a while now, since some of you were even children. Please share with us some of the things that you've learned that can prepare you all for these emergency situations that we're finding ourselves in. Obviously, we see what's going on in the news, school shootings, and the world is going crazy. What have you learned that prepares you for these kind of crazy events? Sister, let's go Medina, Sister Gabrielle, Sister Rukaya.
Yes, sir. I say the first step to all of that is to have the knowledge that it's happening. A lot of our people don't even know what's happening in the world, so they're not even mentally prepared to even think to prepare. So when you come to the training conference, you are made aware of what's happening in the world, and then you're given the proper tools, the different workshops we have. We have How to Eat to Live workshops, which of course prepares the body. And once you start eating right, it starts preparing the mind. Then we have other workshops. We have job security workshops, we have law workshops, we have mental health workshops, we have trade workshops, we have all types of different workshops that prepare us as people to be secure in our lifestyles, be secure financially, mentally, physically, all of that. Attached to the actual martial arts portion, all of that prepares us mentally and physically to be well alert before a threat happens.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Sister Gabrielle?
Yes, sir. Going off of Sister Gina, it has made me aware of my surroundings. So when you're at the conference or going through trainings, that you are using your mind. It teaches you to use your mind so that you can avoid a situation. When you're physically going through the training, you're not only reacting to a situation when it happens, but you're responding, so you're better prepared for a situation when it happens.
Beautiful, beautiful. And lastly, Sister Rukaya.
Yes, just to piggyback off of what Medina said, actually, when she was saying educating on what's actually happening. Sometimes we don't even understand what's going on to even notice the signs. That's one of the main things I have learned, knowing exactly what's going on so I can kind of see how it happens before it happens, so I can know those signs. Also, we do a lot of workshops as far as mental health, so that prepares our mind and our spirit as well.
Let's give these young goddesses, these young gods, pardon me, a round of applause. Thank you so much. We are so proud of you. So proud of you. Let's keep it going. Now, this next question actually was slated for Sister Lisa, who's not with us at the moment. She serves as the coordinator for the youth division. So perhaps Brother GM himself or Brother Calvin can answer this question. At what point, brothers, did the youth become a focus as so much as we see today? Obviously, I don't know if it started that way. So was there a specific time in the progress of the conference where we said, you know what, we have got to bring our young people in here?
Absolutely. In fact, we started out, it was only men, only FY, FY that was coming to the training class. There were others that came to the martial arts portion, but we started out with all men. And maybe 3 years into it, we said that we have to do more than have men, to help run our nation. So we added the sisters, and that began. And then I have to say that our dear sister Lisa, she came in with like on fire, wanting to bring a stream or line of youth to focus on the youth. And I told her, I said, well, let's go. Let's, you got it. I support you and let's make it happen. And she has been doing a tremendous job. I really, really have to commend Sister Lisa for her activity. She's gotten these young sisters and brothers around the country to come together and work as a unit. She manages, but they run it. These young people, they're not just here listening. They are coordinating. The stream of youth programs, it's actually a whole track of a conference that's within the conference.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's give Sister Lisa this round of applause, even though she's not present. Sister Lisa, we thank you for your hard work and dedication to our youth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Coming up in just a minute, we're going to open up the phone lines to take your questions that you can ask the panel, anything that you'd like as it relates to the upcoming National Training Conference. Let's ask just a question or two more before we get to that stage, if it's all right. Now, this one actually will be at Brother GM directly. Dear brother, we would have taken the entire show just to read your history, to read your accolades, to read your accomplishments, to read your training. And most of it centers around security. I want to ask you about something you said in a 2014 issue of the Final Call, where you talk about security. You say these words. You said security is prevention. If you can prevent an incident from happening, you have a greater level of training and security than anybody who physically overpowers an individual. That ran in the July 2014 issue. And what I wanted to ask you about that, big brother, is if you could expand on that thought today, what would you add 8 years later?
Well, those very same words are real. And you've heard the statements from Bruce Lee, fighting without fighting.
Yes, sir.
That is when you're able to see, and we have the greatest fighter that has produced a situation in our nation that has kept us from fighting.
Yes,
he has guided us all of these years and kept us from having battles with the enemy, with each other. He is the master of fighting without fighting. And it's not really without fighting, it's just fighting on a higher level, using one's mind to battle with, the physical is the lowest level of fighting and battling or dealing with someone. It is when you can deal with someone's mind, and when you manage their mind,
yes, sir,
then you can manage their activity.
Beautiful. That, sir, is beautiful. You are watching the Rockwell Radio Show. This is DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ. My guests tonight are as you see in front of you, our great brother, the GM, Brother Calvin, Sister Medina, Sister Gabrielle, and Sister Rukaya. And we're here talking about the upcoming National Training Conference happening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we want you all to go to the link, which is featured in the description of this video, where you can register. And we want you to be a part of this great experience happening at the end of this month. Now, we want to go back to that exact same article. And this time I want to talk again to our young sisters on this again. Dave, let's see that second quote where GM says this. He says, I remember when we first started, the MGT were not involved. As in many of our events, we've had the MGT as a secondary source. But in the early phases of the development of the National Training Seminar, I began to involve them in a big way because I know that Minister Farrakhan would desire that. I would like to know, and sisters, since you've been involved, how have you benefited personally and skill up? How have you benefited from your involvement since then to now?
Yes, sir. I'll go.
I guess we'll do the same order as before.
Say it again.
We'll do the same order as before. Sister Medina,
yes,
Gabrielle,
sir.
and then Sister Rakaya.
Yes, sir. That makes sense. I think that it's empowering to know and have a spot to show our skill in art through the art of martial arts and defending ourselves. All of us, whether you're a man or a woman, should have the means to defend yourself. And I think that with the training conference, it's being a key component of learning martial arts, learning how to defend yourself both mentally and spiritually. The women need that in particular because the woman is one of the most sought out in the world, and we have to know how to defend ourselves. One being sought out, one being, tried to be used and abused. We have to know how to defend ourselves in that way. So I think it's empowering to have the positions that we have, to run the things that we do now, to have the places that we have now, and the national training and the planning and everything. I think it's empowering, in my opinion.
Beautiful. Come on. Excellent. Go ahead, Sister Gabrielle.
Praise be to Allah. I think great minds think alike, because everything Sister Medina is saying is what I want to say. So just adding on to that is that, when the sisters got brought onto it, it gave an empowerment to the sisters even more than they did before. It got into the mindset of the sisters. So it's not just a physical thing, but I always talk about, the mental. So physically, mentally, spiritually, the conference has done that for the sisters over and over. And now what you mentioned earlier, the spotlight on the youth is going down to the babies and even all the way up to the elderly. So nobody's left out.
Beautiful. And last but not least, our Sister Rakai.
Yes, Sister Gabrielle is right. Great minds do think alike. No, but seriously, watching specifically Medina as standing next to me as my sister, as we go through this process, we've been doing this since we were 13 and I'm now 20. So watching us grow and seeing that we have support from sisters as well as the brother, it was really empowering for me personally as an individual, because I learned how to grow as not only as a leader, but as a sister and as a friend.
Beautiful. Come on, sisters. I am so proud to witness this and watch the growth and see how sisters take charge and don't take no mess at the same time.
That's right.
You are tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show. This is DJ Rockwell, and we are having a great time as we prepare for the upcoming National Training Conference happening the last weekend of this month in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You can find the link to register in the description of this video at the end of this program. Family, we are going to ask one last question, and then we're going to open up the phone lines. So, Big Dave, get prepared to put the graphic up, not the crawl, but the graphic with that number. And my phone is charged. The line is up. And we want to hear from you. So we know that some of you all watch the show on your phone. So we're going to need y'all to transfer this video from your cell phone to the big screen or to your laptop, because we want to hear from you and give you an opportunity to ask GM and this panel the questions that you would like. Brother GM, this last question is for you. And it's really one of reflection. After 27 years, sir, of this beautiful, outstanding, and impactful conference that you have put on, what are you the most proud of?
I'm the most proud of the unity that we have and the growth of the team that actually helps to make it a reality. That it didn't stay just with me. I have a huge team. We have a huge team. We don't stop with this 5, and we have over 25 that's on our development team. So I'm so happy, most happy about everyone that has come to support and help make it a reality for the believers and others. And know that this is not just something for the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In particular, but the larger Nation of Islam, where everyone has access. So you can bring family and friends that are not registered in the nation and support and get this training.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. You just heard it from GM himself. Big Dave, are you ready? Panelists, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
We want to open up these phone lines and talk to the people. Big Dave, are you ready to put that line up? You can call us live right now at 404-919-7399 and talk to the GM, talk to Calvin, talk to any of these young queens who are fighters, powerhouses, and defenders of themselves by this beautiful conference that's been going on now for the last 27 years. Again, you can call us right now. Don't be scared. Don't be scared now. Call us up now. The number is 404-919-7399, and we'll put you right through. So in the meanwhile, while we're waiting on the phone to ring, I want to go back to that question, Dave, if you got it, that we saw. And we can answer some questions from the text as well. I think Brother Azim asked a question. I want to bring that question back up. Brother Azim said, I pray you all are well. I have a question about the National Training Conference. Do you have to register for the NTC and Muhammad Brothers tournament separately? How much overlap is there? How feasible would it be to be involved in both? That's a lot of questions. Would you recommend one over the other for an experienced martial artist? And he says, may Allah continue to bless you all. That's a lot of questions, brother. So you all can jump in anywhere you like.
Well, the tournament that's happening is happening on Sunday the 31st, and it's a whole different aspect. It's one of the things that we're offering, and in the question it was, is there an overlap, or should I choose one over the other? I would suggest that if you are interested in the martial arts, I should say the tournament aspect, that you must involve yourself in all of it, because you don't want to lose one thing over another. Friday and Saturday are going to be action-packed with workshops that are going to deal with your mind and get you prepared in your mind. And then on Saturday, we're going to focus on your body, and then we're going to look at the application of what we focused on Sunday. So it's all there. You should look at all aspects of it over one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Brother Azim, I hope that answers your question. And we are waiting for the phone to ring right now. I see there's plenty of people watching, but per my numbers and my statistics, I know that a lot of you watch this on your phone device. But if you can break away, we want to hear from you live. Sometimes the phone does ring, and we would love to hear from you. The number to call right now to get through live is 404-919-7399. Again, that's 404-919-7399 to be live on the Rockwell Radio Show with your brother and your family right here with us. If there's any other questions in the chat room, we want to see them. We'll put them right on the screen, and we'll have the panel answer them right away, because we want everybody to get themselves to Milwaukee for this beautiful event. happening at the end of the month. Again, as I mentioned before, you can go right to the description area of this video and go ahead and hit the link, which is there for you, and it will provide all of the information needed to register successfully. And we've got our first phone call. Let's talk to somebody live right about now. This is DJ Rockwell, and you're live on the Rockwell Radio Show. With whom am I speaking?
This is Brother William Muhammad out of Oakland.
Mighty Brother William Muhammad in the building. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam, sir. How are you, sir?
Oh, man, it's always an honor to hear from you, big brother. The floor is yours, sir.
Yes, sir. I have a question for GM. And that question is, for those who are not physically able to come to the workshop, can they still register and be able to watch it online?
Yes, sir. We do have a virtual component. Yes, we did think about everyone that would not be able to make it. So yes, you can register online for the virtual. But I just don't want you. I don't want anyone. I don't want anyone to choose virtual over physically being present, because you want to feel the presence of all if you are able to. Otherwise, definitely you can register for the virtual component.
Brother William, thank you, black man. Thanks for listening, soldier.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. The phone lines are open. We got a few minutes left in the show before we shut it down. You can call us and get your question answered directly by GM and those who are in the planning of this beautiful event called the National Training Conference, happening at the end of the month, the last weekend. We're now 2 weeks out, a week and a half out?
Yes, sir.
Want everybody to go ahead and go to the link again, which is in the description of this video, and register today. You can call at 404-919-7399 to get in live on the Rockwell Radio Show. Here's call number 2. You're live on the Rockwell Radio Show. This is DJ Rockwell, and who am I speaking with?
It's Brother Ahmed.
The mighty Ahmed of the Jock Brothers.
Yes, indeed.
Salam alaikum, sir. The floor is yours.
Hey, Salam, Grandmaster.
Walaikum salam.
I was just also checking on if we weren't able to make it and we wanted to sponsor someone. Is there a area or portion in that registration where we can sponsor someone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother Calvin, won't you share that info?
Absolutely. There is an area in that on the registration that you can sponsor. And we did think about that in setting it up. So all you would do is go to the website, into the registration section, and you begin the normal registration process. And in that, you'll be prompted. It will ask you, are you sponsoring this registration for someone else? And you would just click yes, and you can provide the name of the person that you're sponsoring it for.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, big God. Thank you, soldier. Salam alaikum, sir. All right, now the number is 404-919-7399. We're going to start winding down the program. There's about a little less than 10 minutes left, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you who are watching this program and give you the opportunity to ask our dear brother any question you would like about this program, the benefits, and why you should be there. So matter of fact, let's start our closing comments now as we wait for the next phone call. What I'd like to do is do one last round, and we want to just tell the people why they should be at this year's National Training Conference. We'll go for Brother Calvin, Sister Medina, Sister Gabrielle, Sister Rakaya, and of course, we'll let our dear brother Jim have the last word.
Yes, sir. And again, thank you for having us, my brother.
Yes, sir.
And you know, there are many reasons why you should be at the national training. And I'm just going to say that you must be at the national training. You know, consider the time that we are currently living in. You know, there was a time that you had safe places within our community. You know, you can send your children to school and feel comfortable. You can go to a place of worship and you can feel comfortable, or you can go to the grocery store and you can feel comfortable. Well, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us that time dictates the agenda.
Yes, sir.
Right now in America, they lost track in about, I want to say 2016, but these are militia groups that are providing training. And now they have opened providing training over 1,000 tactical websites and training that you can go to. And the question is, what are these people preparing for?
Yes, sir.
In reality, what these people are preparing for, they're preparing to deal with circumstances that already exist in our community. They feel like if what comes in their community mirrors what is in our community, that they want to be prepared. So right now, the communities that we're living in is literally a battleground, and there's nothing that you can do other than prepare yourself for training. So this is mandatory. This is a must. And there is no training like that being offered specifically to our people, but what we have here in the Nation of Islam. So it is an absolute must. There is no safe place. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been giving us a warning. And like many things, the Nation of Islam is at the forefront in providing that solution.
Come on, fact. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear from our dear Sister Medina Muhammad on why everyone watching this program needs to make their way to Milwaukee at the end of the month.
Yes, sir. I say that this is the reason. Me and Rakaya used to, when we were like 7, 8, 9, 10, we used to actually participate in the martial arts portion, training out, doing the whole like competition thing and trying to fight people and stuff like that. And now we're running the youth division with Sister Lisa. So I would say that the National Training Conference, for the years that we've been participating in it, prepares you for leadership, prepares you to be able to defend yourself. It prepares you for the world and for the things that you need to take on in the world. So a lot of the workshops that we have are just very important. Like Brother Calvin said, no other place is doing this that's dedicated to our own people. The type of training that we have, the type of knowledge that we have is nowhere else. And for a small price, a small fee, an investment that you're making in your life, I think that it's worth it to come to the National Training Conference. It's once a year. It's a beautiful place, beautiful scenery, and we have so many things to share, especially in the youth division. And I say, I don't know if I'm biased or not, that I would say you come because the youth division, like we have a lot of amazing things. We have a lot of amazing things going, put a lot of work and effort into the things that we got going on. A lot of good people on our schedule. So just come out and see, and you will not be disappointed.
Thank you. Sister Gabrielle, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. I say the question is, why not? What else is there to do? I mean, we're talking about the conditions of our community right now. What safer place to be with a bunch of martial artists?
Hello.
Not only that, but you're coming for the unity, the feel of family, the love that's there, and you're going to gain some invaluable information. So come on. Let's go.
Thank you, ma'am. Sister Rakaya?
Yes. I think there's like a component missing when explaining sometimes that this conference, specifically this year, is, in my opinion, hybrid. It's the most hybrid conference we've ever done. It has every single component. I don't really know any other event that can incorporate self-defense physically, mentally, and spiritually. You're not really getting that nowhere else. So like Medina said, it's for a small price. You're literally paying this small price to value and uplift and continue on your life for the better. And it's also, I think a lot of people need to realize that what we are offering is specific to us and everything in this world. There's not anything that we're missing. Not a thing. Just for a quick example, we have a workshop and it's talking about the proper handling when dealing with the police.
How about that?
Who else is doing that? Nobody.
How about that?
So, like Medina said, for a small price, it's definitely worth it. Not to mention, the youth specifically have been putting in so much work to push, and we also are doing an event prior to the actual conference to promote in the community in Wisconsin. So just to give you a little mirror, a little picture of what all is going on, it's very serious and it's very necessary, and you will not leave with nothing. You will always leave with something coming to the conference.
Beautiful. And last but not least, the sponsor, the host, the brother whose brainchild this is, along with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, as he cleared up earlier. We hear from our dear brother GM.
Thank you for making that note, because it is his brainchild. I look for the minister to just be pleased with what we're doing, and it lets me know that we're on track. And in my thinking, in our thinking, it's all about how would we feel? How do you think he would feel about what we're presenting, and what is it that's needed for our community? So he's the reference point, and it is so important for everyone to get there. I want to say that the minister has been the biggest supporter. He has always been there. And if the minister never came, I know he loves it so much. And I'll tell you this one thing. And the minister 1 year was traveling out of the country and came into the event right from coming out of the country. And I know how that is. So, you know, he's such a valuable person that anything he has interest in should interest us. So, you know, so if you want to be in good company, in the best company, come on to the event, because the minister's mind is right there.
Brothers and sisters, you heard it from GM and his key members of this staff. Get yourself to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Get yourself there. The contact information is in the description of this video. Click the link, register today. Don't wait. I saw on Brother GM's Facebook page that there are still rooms. They're going fast. Don't miss it. Big Dave, let's close out. Let's put how they can get in contact and follow GM. You can follow him there on Facebook under GM Anthony Muhammad. You can also follow on Facebook at NTC1. And if you're if you're a Twitter guy, you can follow the program at NOINTC there on Twitter. And I happen to be an IG guy. You can catch him there at Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad, and also at NOINTC. That is how you contact our brother GM on all social media platforms. This is DJ Rockwell, and we are so honored that you all took time to join us here. And to my brothers in the FOI of Atlanta, I hope I did y'all proud.
You did a wonderful job, man. I really appreciate you, DJ Rockwell.
The honor is mine. Thank you all. Thank you all. And hey, we will see everybody there in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee. We are out of here.
I'd like to know, are you really ready for some super dynamite soul?